Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. Before we get into today's episode of If We're at Nintendo, I want to give a quick thank you to everybody who supports us at patreon.com/YouMeAndCapri, and a quick shout out to our newest patrons, Mr. Jonathan Brown, the Purple Monkey, Ryan Turford, Joel Brooks the Falcon, and Andy the Informant Penizek. Bobby, let's get going.
We ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 150 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri.
Bobby, how are you, my friend? We're all in red today. Look at we got the reds. You got your red hat, your red microphone. I got the shirt that my son points at, and he goes, "Yario."
That's pretty amazing.
It's pretty nice, man.
That's
it's good
pretty
to
nice,
see you.
man.
It's good
we're
stuff.
We're gonna go Ribble Red for this episode, which is the Canadian flag.
Oh, that is nice. I need to get that. I need to get on that.
He tricked me one day. I don't know if you know this.
No.
So we're sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, man, could you change every light to be the side lights to be red and the middle ones to be white?" And I was like, yeah, sure, no big deal. And then after I get done, he's like, the beautiful Canadian flag. I'm like, you son of a...
How did you not see that coming?
I didn't see it coming at all. I didn't know what he was trying to get me to do.
Get some culture, Bobby. It's good to see you, man. It's good. It's If We Ran Nintendo. It's Friday. I look forward to this. I feel like we just chatted. I feel like, I don't know about you, but this week completely flew by for me.
This is episode 150, man.
Shh, don't bring it up. We'll just skim past this, and we'll go right to 200.
This is a big one. This is crazy.
That's what they say.
So the thing of it is we had talked about doing something like a live episode.
5 weeks ago. We're like, look, man, it's coming up. It's coming up.
And then it just totally crept up on us, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, like the first time we ever went live, it was episode 50.
Yeah.
Or it might have been 52 or 1 year anniversary.
6 years ago. Unbelievable.
And then and then we did episode 100, which is that the one I came back for? Yeah. That's the episode I came.
Yeah, we did memories.
For. You did the memories on 99.
99. Mm-hmm.
I came back for 100. And then we did this one. And now we're at 150. It's amazing to think that like here we are, year 3, and we're still at it, and we're doing pretty good.
Better than ever, might I add.
Oh man, we had
a brief moment where we were really focused on making ourselves better.
Yeah.
And we stopped doing that for a little bit, and now it's about you, me, and the Capri Pants. That's what we should be giving away. We shouldn't be giving away T-shirts. We should be giving away Capri Pants.
You get enough
new tier.
You get enough, ego strokes over there with the name.
Oh, it's about time. It's about time having to live in the guru shadow.
Oh, get out of here! You know what, man? And the thing of it is, let's be fair. I was the one that I came up with the name.
I know, it's very nice of you.
Well, first off,
I'm rubbing off
that was
on
an
you.
episode of the Geekcast years ago.
You mean Capri? That's right.
Yeah. And I remember
That's
when I named
good call. Good callback.
Yeah. And Chelsea was like, I remember Chelsea specifically saying, I love that name.
Mm-hmm.
I love that name. Because it was a playoff of Yumi and Dupree.
Yep.
The movie. And
very
then
famous movie.
Yeah. And so then I was like, when I brought it up again, you were like, you kept saying like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm like, no. I really like the name. And you were like, are you sure, man? You sure you don't want Guru in there? So I'm like, no, man, I like this.
Yeah, Bobby Capri. We almost did Bobby Capri.
We almost did do Bobby Capri.
Yeah, that was supposed to be my daughter's name.
As protest because your daughter. Real quickly, let's jump into some shoutouts. Wow, I didn't even say it like that. Like, let's kick this episode like we do each and every episode. With our shout-outs.
Geek outs! I was there, dude. Okay, can I geek out about something? It's my geek out first, okay?
If it's not Xbox Drive stuff, I don't want to talk about it.
I am going to E3. Luke Lore and I are going to E3. Are you kidding me? This was a secret. It's been a secret for a long time. Bobby, I kind of told Bobby a little while ago. Sorry, Luke. I told Bobby. I didn't know we were supposed to tell him. But, Bobby, this is relevant for this show because our good friend, Justin Masson, I don't know if you guys saw it, if you saw the video that the Nintendo dads popped out there. Justin Masson did a little finagling over there from that Irish Canadian over there, chatting with Nintendo Canada, and he said, hey, would you let I don't even know what a Canadian Irish accent is, but he's hooking us up. Justin Masson got us into the Nintendo booth for a tour, and we'll have an interview, and then after that, we're going to jump on to the Nintendo Dads show from LA. So my data roaming is going to be a little intense.
Yeah.
But I am stoked, man. We're going to be I just got confirmation for the Bethesda conference. We're going for the Xbox conference. We're going to be at the Nintendo booth. So I'm going to be able to, like, you know, touch Mario right in the buttocks. Just give him a little pat, like an encouragement. Just a little, like, pat.
The thing for me is I'm taking off of work on Tuesday when Nintendo does their announcement. So I'll be streaming it live.
Nice.
And then I will actually stay on live for most of the day watching the Treehouse live. So if people want to come in and out and do whatever, I'll play some games. Who knows? We might be playing some Apex Legends.
Makes sense.
Well, hey, it's the rumor right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm like, that doesn't have anything to do with Nintendo. I see what you mean, though.
Yeah, it's rumor.
That'd be interesting. That would be very interesting.
So that'd be pretty cool to see if that one.
Dude, I am freaking out.
Up.
I'm freaking out. And I wanted to say it on this show as well. To thank you to everybody who supports us at Patreon.com. Literally every dime from that Patreon is going to get me to LA. It's not a cheap flight for me. I gotta go all the way over the wall, and then I gotta spend that extra dollars with your dollar. It's so strong, and with our weak ass Canadian dollar, it's tough, man. It's tough.
Should thank Donald Trump for something. Between
all that and like birthday money, like I'm going old school, man. I'm gonna ask my parents. I'm like, I need to go. This has to happen. Like it's almost didn't happen.
You're in the mode that I was in last year.
I'm pumped.
Where like you're so giddy because last year Jules reached out to me to go, and I was just like, this year. I mean, let's be fair. Like this year, you reached out to me immediately. You're like, "Can you go?" I'm like, I can't go.
Dude, I was trying to go even if I wasn't going to get into the conference. I just wanted to be in LA.
I know. And they put a freeze on my vacations this year, where we weren't allowed to take vacations from like April till August or something like that. And so I couldn't go. And then like Masson hit me up because he did want me to go do the stuff that you're doing.
It's a bit more of a trek for him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Are you going to go?" Because I think he hit Adam Leonard first. Adam wasn't going. Then he hit me up, and I wasn't going. He's like,
"Woo,
right,
6 on the list. We made it.
You're way down the list, man.
Thanks to everybody else. I'm good."
But the thing is, like, you're in that moment. You're in that moment that I was last year. Last year when Jules reached out to me, it was yes, I'm there. Yes.
Yep.
And I'm like, I was put in for the vacation. And my one boss was like, well, I don't know. I'm like, dude, I'm going with your approval or not. Like, you make the decision. Either I'm quitting or I'm not.
Did you tell why, like, what was going on there? Did you say, like, I'm going to LA, or did you say I'm going to
I just told him that I had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said at work.
Yeah,
I'm like, there's a thing happening in LA, like, I got to go.
Yeah. So I just told him it was a once-in-a-lifetime.
I got embarrassed.
But after I went, because when they realized like, it was getting closer, a couple of people at work are gamers.
Oh,
and they're like, wait a minute.
Put it together.
Are you going to E3? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh my God, how did you? And then when I started explaining it, now they all know that I like do this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got one guy that I work with, his son actually watches my Nintendo Guru Daily stuff. And like, he told me this is the best. For Christmas, his son asked for a PS4.
Yeah.
And since he started watching my videos, he don't play the PS4 no more.
Yeah, baby.
And that's what he plays all the time.
I love it.
Like, that's what's up right
there. The best thing is like you don't even do like as it seems like you're just trying to make people not play their play. Like that's not what you do. You just talk about Nintendo. It's not like you put other systems down. Like really, like you take your shots, but it's not like you're actively.
I just joke 90% of the time. Like I own a PS4. I own an Xbox One.
Exactly.
They're trash.
I love that.
Nobody should be playing them, but still.
Here's the difference, though, Bobby. I'm going to conferences. I'm going to the press conference for Xbox. I'm going to the press conference for Bethesda. Yeah. Fingers crossed for Ubi. I don't know if Ubi's going to happen, but fingers crossed there.
Well, you do have
booth and Nintendo. Like there's some things happening, dude.
That's pretty awesome.
I am so excited. I get to go with Luke Lore. We get to hug. I'm trying to like eat better because I'm going to be next one. No, Brock and Dapper are not going, unfortunately.
Dapper's not going either?
No. So you know what that means? Xbox Canada might need a little somebody to step in place, you know. So I gotta.
Marissa's right.
Marissa's probably gonna go. Yep. Okay. I'm not sure though. I haven't asked her. I don't really. I don't text her. We're not on texting.
You're not texting, but you still talk.
Yeah, sure. I should probably ask her.
Just tweet
ask her. I could ask her. My wife shot her wedding, for God's sakes.
Yeah, exactly.
I was there.
I messaged her when I was there last year, and it was just we couldn't connect.
Yeah.
Like she had seen my tweet like a day. I was actually in the cab or in the Uber going back to the airport, and she hit me up and she's like, "Where are you at? Let's meet." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going. I'm leaving." She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm so sorry." I was like, "Don't worry about it."
Son of a gun. Yep.
But the thing is,
I got to be in shape for Luke Lore though. Luke Lore's going to be there, and he's in very good shape. So I'm eating better. I've got 4 weeks to get into the best shape of my life to stand next to Luke Lore, for God's sakes.
The thing of it is you're going to learn that's pretty spectacular is when you start running into everybody you know.
Yeah, that is.
Like, you're standing there, and here comes Josue Ponce walking up to you.
No way. Josue, if you're going, hit me up, man. I guess I could tweet at him.
Oh, he's definitely going. I'm sure him, TJ Santula, and 64 Josh is going.
That's right. I did see that he was going. I got to close the loop with him because he wanted a roommate, and I'm not doing it. So I got to figure something out. Dude, I am beyond excited. I didn't mean to dominate this thing, but I wanted to thank a huge reason that I'm able to go is, number one, people supporting what we do and engaging, because that's what people look for when they want to reach out to content creators. Like, they want to look that people are engaged with them. So thank you guys so much. And then, like, physically and financially helping out with the Patreon, because that is a huge factor in this. Let's
be real. Let's be honest here. The only reason that you got this is because the first time you guys went to that little thing and you and Brock, and you streamed on Xbox Canada.
Sure.
I was there. The guy before you guys going, "I'm only here for Sean Capri."
That's
Where's
true.
Sean Capri?
That did help. Of course,
and the guy is actually reading like, "Who's Sean Capri? Who's?"
yeah. Go ahead, make it about you. Are you done?
I'm just. It's always about me. It's got to come back. It's got to loop around and come back.
That's true. I just wanted to thank people. I just wanted to thank you guys. I'm pumped.
All right, quick.
Okay.
We'll do a couple quick shout outs.
Yeah. No, I got a lot.
Number one, first and foremost, I want to give another shout out to Rybo. You're in my thoughts. You're in my prayers. I love you. That's it. And then the next one is, do you want to? Well, I guess I should start.
Jump on it, buddy. Jump on it.
Bobby Miller.
Mr. Smooth.
So here's the thing. He kind of got, to be fair, he got snubbed twice. The first time he got snubbed, we actually shut the stream off when he jacked up.
Oh, don't remind people of this.
He jacked up his Patreon.
That's right.
Donation, and we had just shut the stream off,
and it was like, and then we get the notification,
and it was like, oh my God. And then last week, for those that listen back, I was reading all the names of the Patreon supporters, and I'm just gonna say it is what it is. Sean, when I got to Bobby Miller, Sean wanted to kind of give a proper shout out, and I shut it down and kept moving forward. And the reason behind it is, and I messaged Bobby and I explained this to him. For those that don't know, I have difficulty reading out loud. I know that I do it fine, but in my head, it's a psychological thing. And the minute I get caught up a little bit, I stumble, I stammer, and I start to trip over my words. Sean and Toby know this very much so for when we used to read the Patreon stuff. And that's why, if you don't realize, that's why they read that stuff at the start of when we were doing Make Us Better, is because I was always self-conscious of reading it. So, it's the truth.
No, I know, but I'm trying not to, because I think you're saying something very heartfelt, and I really do appreciate that. I just wanted to touch on the fact that anytime like that I tripped up, who's jumping all over me? Or who's ruffling... Who's got his like bag of chips and everything or whatever?
That's not the point. That's not the point. Okay, but the thing of it is, like, you guys were much better readers than I was, and it's a psychological thing.
I understand.
So when I was reading the names, I just was trying to push forward, but when I would listen back, when I listened back to it, it was to me embarrassing the way I cut it off, because it almost came off like F him, and that was not the intention at all.
Yeah.
I want to say this. This guy, Bobby Miller, beyond the Patreon support, like, pull the Patreon support aside.
Yep.
That means nothing to me. It's the other stuff. This guy is the nicest guy.
He really is.
And I have no reason in the world for him to be as supportive to me as he has been since I come back. Legitimately shows up to, I would say,
everything
80% of my streams. When I'm streaming stuff, always in there talking to me. He bought me tickets to PAX East that I couldn't take advantage of because I was working. He offered me to come to Baltimore to an Orioles game anytime. He's like, you pick the game, tell me when.
Damn, that'd be amazing.
I'm taking him up on it. That's irrelevant. I'm going down this summer. I'm going to go. So for me, like, it when you came to me this week and said to me like, hey man, you know,
maybe I wasn't awesome.
I was devastated by that, you coming to me, because I was like, that was not my intention at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do I do? Like, how do I, you know what I mean? Like, so my first off is I want to apologize to him for cutting you off like that, because that was not my intention. That was not my will at the moment. But that said, I love this guy. I love all the people that support us. But Bobby, I just want to say specifically to you, dude, you got my heart, man. You're a good guy. Thank you for everything you do. Be above and beyond whatever. So I appreciate all the support, dude, and I'm sorry if I haven't.
Well said, Bobby.
You got any shout-outs, or?
I got lots of shout-outs. I mean, Bobby Miller is definitely one of them. And I did want to just, like, I wanted to highlight that, because, like, it almost, like, puts us in this place of, like, I actually don't, I sometimes I get a little stuck. I don't even know what to do with, like, that kind of, like, it's just so unbelievable, that support. I was talking about it on the Pants podcast earlier this week. So, yeah, I've definitely... I've talked to him since. I hope he just understands how much we appreciate him. And we're just sort of like, if nothing else, we're at a loss. We're actually speechless, which is very strange for podcasters. When you actually shut Bobby up, like, you know, you've done something pretty special. So thank you guys. Enough about that though, Bobby.
Yeah.
Shout out to Justin Masson, getting me into the Nintendo booth. Shout out to Luke Lore. I'm going to be sharing a room with him. And shout out to our good friend, Lucas Rose of Fluxtapose. He's a dad again. He just had a baby earlier this week. And so you might have seen Fluxtapose tweet out a little something about if we're at Nintendo. So I'm joining Fluxtapose to cover for Lucas. I'm going to be joining Jason Lacey next week. I'm not making any promises, but, you know, don't call it a comeback. Is that how it goes? Is that how you say it? Don't call it a comeback? Hashtag?
It's trash. Can I throw a quick shout out to Justin Masson? Him and I will be doing something together on Sunday. We're thinking around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, somewhere in there. I will be recording with him. Special edition. We're going to record some stuff. We're going to talk about E3. We're just going to get into, you know.
What are you doing?
Chat. We're just recording. Because he's coming. He's flying into Boston, so we're going to record a podcast.
What do you mean he's flying into Boston?
He's flying into Boston for work, and he said, "I'll be here. I'll be landing Sunday. I'd like to record."
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, if you're lying to me and he's actually flying into New Jersey, I mean,
that
Boston's pretty close.
That would be amazing. I did first think about that.
Now.
I was like, that would be awesome.
I think
if I could drive to Boston, like hang out with you for
totally
an hour.
Could. How long would that be? How far is it?
It's far.
It's pretty far.
6-8 hours. Yeah.
Is it that? Oh, I didn't realize it was that far.
Yeah. Well, New York's 3, and there's another 3 up above. So it's a hike.
Boston's nice. Good
but
I know his work has a headquarters there, so
exactly.
Maybe you're really not. You know,
I'm being honest. He hit me up the other day. It's happening.
If he's in that bedroom of yours, I'll be very jealous. That's my bedroom.
Yeah.
That's where I sleep, Justin Masson. Remember, I'm the high school prom date that you tried to line up, but I slid in right at the last second.
Here we go. Mm-hmm. Okay, we gotta get this boat moving, man.
All right, I'm ready to go, man.
Well, you're over there. You had 15 million shout-outs, man. Like, good lord. Okay, so the first one, we got a bunch of topics, but I don't think we're gonna hit them all. We'll probably move something next week. But first topic: if we ran Nintendo, what would we do during E3? How would we handle the presentations, and what would we do? So real quickly, let's just jump into what Nintendo is doing. They announced this week that their plans for E3, and it starts off with on June 8th at 11 a.m. Splatoon 2 World Championships 2019. June 8th at 2 p.m. The Super Smash Bros. Ultimate World Championships. Then on June 11th, Nintendo Direct, which during the Nintendo Direct it says get a look at Nintendo Switch titles for 2019, and then immediately after that we click into Treehouse Live, which 3 days. It is 3 days because I only saw the date of June 11th. So it's June 11th, 12th, and 13th 3 days, approximately 6 hours of coverage each day. But my question, Sean, is how would we handle this?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a huge missed opportunity. It was one of my predictions of what Nintendo would do for E3, and they didn't do it. I predicted they would do the Nintendo World Championships again this year, and they're not doing that. And the reason why is because if you remember a few years ago when they did Mario Maker on the Wii U,
so good.
They did the Nintendo World Championships, and the final round was levels created by Treehouse developers, the people that work in the Treehouse, and it was one of the most memorable moments ever. Watching these two speedrunners try to solve this, and you're just watching these guys, and they just cracked the code, and it was like, oh my god, it was the most amazing thing to watch.
It really was.
And I thought to myself, I thought the excitement and the buzz, man, why would you not try to recapture that? And maybe that's what they were thinking, is you can't recapture it, so why even try?
That's a good point.
But my thing is I feel like it was such a moment, and you're in a situation where Mario Maker comes out 2 weeks after E3. It'd be the greatest, because my hopes are, as a Nintendo fan, and I would do this if I ran Nintendo, but my hopes are that Nintendo does not talk about Mario Maker 2 during E3.
Interesting. Because it's been done before?
Because we know what it is.
Yeah.
We've seen it all. There's not that much new to it.
That's the thing. I feel like there's going to be a surprise. I think that they're making us think that. I think there might be a little something more to it.
I guess in my mind,
or maybe
rather than spending 10, 15 minutes on Mario Maker 2, which it could turn into very quickly, I would rather new content.
Yeah.
And just come out with some stuff and show some stuff. I want to see real quickly what exactly, if they give you a time limit. It doesn't tell you how long that Nintendo Direct is. That's something that Nintendo normally does do, where they break it down and they go, you can expect this thing to be 35 minutes long or 45 minutes or whatever. I think last year's was 45 minutes or something like that. But Smash was a huge part of it.
Yeah, I remember how upset people were. I remember...
Yeah, because we knew, because at that point we were smashed out. They showed so much of it. You know what I mean? We got Smash exclusive directs. We got all this crazy stuff, and it was at that point it was okay, we know what this game is. And that's how I feel about Mario Maker. We know what Mario Maker is.
But if we ran Nintendo, are we focused on the vocal minority of the whining people on the whining crowd on the internet who are I'm so sick of this, I'm tired enough, and then we all go on to make that the best selling game in the franchise, or in this one of the best selling Nintendo games of all time, by the way.
Well, because to be fair, here's what I feel.
That strategy, that E3 strategy they've rolled out for the last 3, 4, 5 years is working like gangbusters, dude. Every game that they've featured like that, to that level, goes on to sell. But I don't know, I guess the argument would be that Mario Maker's not that game.
No, and I feel like you have Animal Crossing this year.
Yeah.
You have Bayonetta 3.
Speedrun Animal Crossing.
You can't. I don't even feel like Animal Crossing should really get a big presentation.
It will, and you know how and I love Animal Crossing. You know how dry that could be if they spend a long time on that.
That game does not show well.
No, but a lot of games that they show for that long don't show well. They're let me show you all 17,000 menus in Fire Emblem. It's oh man, come on.
Because that's another game. That's another game that's coming. They're gonna show a Fire Emblem. You got Luigi's Mansion 3. But what worries me a little bit, I was watching the Bit Block today with Josh Thomas, and he keyed on something, and my first reaction was oh, come on, Josh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then I was you know what, you're not really wrong.
Yeah.
And when you read this press release, they're just saying that they're focusing on games on 2019.
That's what I was just gonna say.
And my thing is yes, that's a good thing. But at the same time, man, just show 2 to 3 games that are going to be in 2020. Just show us a couple of games. Just crack the door a little bit to the future. To go, hey, this is what we're going to give you. This is what is essentially going to be the be-all, end-all. This is what you have to look forward to in 2020. Especially when, at this point in the moment, I feel anyway, we pretty much know what's coming for 2019.
Yeah.
There might be one or two surprises, but I don't think there's any surprises that just make you go, "What the?" You know.
I mean, I think it depends on when Animal Crossing is coming out, because then so what are there, 3 games or 4 games, I guess? Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, Luigi, and Pokemon.
And Bayonetta.
Oh, and do you think is that guaranteed for 2019? Did they?
Yes.
I thought did they not just say it was 2020?
No, they said 2019.
And everybody's like, it's delayed, but nobody ever said it was this year.
I don't think it ever got said it was going to be delayed.
Somebody can leave a comment in the.
But the other
they
thing
definitely
is
didn't say earlier when the only time they really talked about was at the Game Awards, and they never really gave us a year.
I thought they said 2019.
Well, maybe.
But Astral Chain is another one that they said 2019.
Yeah.
So, and you got Damon X Machina.
Yeah, that's 2021. That needs at least a couple more
That
years.
needs to get pushed off.
That needs some time. That needs some time
to fix
for sure.
that one, man. Yeah. But I mean see what I'm saying though? There's so many games that we know are coming.
Yeah.
I would like to see them go like, games. Okay, this is our 2020 or this is our 2019. Here's a couple for 2020.
Do you get stoked? You personally, do you get stoked for those games? Pokemon, Luigi, Animal Crossing. I know Animal Crossing for sure.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem. Where are you at with Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem way up there. I love
Fire
Emblem.
Really? I thought that cooled people off the way that they showed it.
Not me.
Yeah,
I love Fire Emblem.
I love it too. I just wanted to check in.
So Fire Emblem is way up there.
That might be the number one for me. Like personally, I want to love Pokemon. I want to be there. I see it all over the place. I get excited by it, but I don't have that love like everybody else does, and it pains me to say that because I want to be part of that. Like it just seems so amazing.
The thing for me with Pokemon is I've been slow. It's a slow burn for me.
Yeah.
I've been slowly getting closer and closer to the fire.
Yeah.
And Pokemon Go is the closest I got to really igniting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. I got even further. That's the furthest along I've ever played one of those games. Yeah. And I got to level 4 of it. You know what I mean? Like the 4th gym. So this game to me, I'm even more excited for it. So as time moves forward, it's like we're taking each step progressively.
Yeah.
And getting further and further and further. So that's another thing. So for me, it's, whatever. We're getting there.
Can I change the subject a little bit instead of games that I've got something else I want to chat to you about.
Go ahead.
So you're talking at the very start of the topic about like kind of what we can expect to watch. A lot of things that like we can do with the treehouse and there's all these tournaments and whatever else that are happening. Like it's a lot of stuff that if you can, it's very passive. I guess is my issue. Like I'm an old man, Bobby. You're not getting any younger. Sometimes you put on something on the TV or you're watching on your phone, you kind of like pass out a little bit. You need to be engaged. I want to be part of something. So I was thinking about things that like they could drop while Treehouse is happening. Treehouse is not going anywhere anytime soon, no matter how loud I get about it. I think that they bury a lot of really important things in Treehouse, and it's their way of trying to maybe get people to watch it, but not enough people watch it for that long to pick up on these big things. So I think that's a mistake. But maybe another incentive to check those things out, or some things that they could drop throughout the week are free demos. I would think that it would be great if, as they start to announce these games, if the game isn't ready to launch as a full title like Pokemon or Animal Crossing or any of these things, but you get people excited about it, the demo should be available today. For every big thing, that should be the new, and it's available now. I don't think it's reasonable for them to stealth drop actual games throughout E3, but I want to load my Switch up with crap I'd never even heard of before and play it then, and then tie it together with like some sort of either 10% or 20% like pre-order bonus. So you get like this E3, everybody's rushing to your Switch, everybody's buying their games, and they're loading up for the rest of the entire year and spending like trillions of dollars. I just want this like engagement.
So to be okay, so let's you said a little bit, let's unpack it here for a second. All right. So they when all game companies, this isn't just Nintendo. When they put a demo out that's at a show,
yep,
they want it to be a controlled atmosphere. They want someone there to be able to talk to you. So they can talk to you and explain to you what you're seeing and what's going on, how you should be playing it. If you run into a jam, they kind of talk you through it. Every game developer does this. That's just the way it is. Nintendo, and maybe you don't remember this, but the past 2-3 years, what they do is they've partnered with Best Buy. And they've set up locations where you actually go in and you play the demos.
I don't want to go to Best Buy. I want to do it at my house.
I get that, but they're not going to give you that. That's never going to happen. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of in agreement to it.
What?
And the reason is that you want that controlled.
But you get
demo.
demos all the time. They have released like demos like not
You don't
E3
get
demos.
you don't get a big packing of demos like that.
That's what I want.
It's fine what you want. You're not going to get
If
it.
I ran Nintendo, I would make it happen.
If I ran Nintendo, I'd veto it. I don't agree with it. And that's just like you're speaking to the fans and to yourself, and that's fine. But I think as a business, you want to control the narrative. You want to be able to control what they're seeing, how they're seeing it, and because you don't want people to get it. And the thing of it is like you could put out a bad demo that really just the masses explode with it. At least if you can control it to a smaller viewing group, you can kind of hear it and fix it quickly to some degree. When I went the 1 year to Best Buy, we played Mario Maker.
Yeah.
And we played Triforce Heroes.
They had the same setup at Comic-Con that year, actually, in New York. They had the exact same thing, yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, it's what Nintendo... And everybody... Xbox does it. PlayStation does it. Ubisoft does it. They don't want you to play a demo outside of it unless it's getting closer to launch and whatever. I just think that, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I think that you give a bunch of people demos. A lot of times when you're looking at these situations, demos can be broken or there could be problems with them. Mm-hmm. And that's the worst thing that could be possible happen is you put a demo in somebody's hands that's no good or it's a bad version of the game. And then next thing you know, you got problems on your hands. And I think that controlling it, because here's the thing, something bad happens, the guy that's working the monitor for you can go, oh, you know what, this damn unit's been messed. Because I remember, okay, here's an example. I went to E3 last year. Me and Jules went up and we met Klaus from Zoink. And Klaus was there and he had three PlayStations set up with VR, and he was demoing Ghost Giant. Mm-hmm. And they kept crapping out. And he had press. But the press was kind of understanding because they're like, hey, we get it. Demos are bad, whatever.
Sure.
But so that I think is their biggest fear is you put a bad demo out there and then you have people that don't know what demos are. They don't understand how they are. And next thing you know, here's the narrative. This is a bad game, and then you lose a lot of money. So I think they like the controlled atmosphere where someone can go like, no, the console's faulty or whatever they can do to kind of fix and quell the storm. So I just think that's a mistake to some degree. I like the idea. I think that'd be amazing. The fan of me thinks that.
I just want polished demos.
Oh,
maybe that's the unreasonable part.
You want to polish? It's called buy the game when it comes out.
Well, I want something for them to say.
Here's an example.
So maybe it's not a demo. How else do we engage with the game though? Like, I guess that's the one thing that I just always like. You got me excited. Now what do you want me to do? Like, getting me excited. I feel like that is an old school way of thinking of marketing these games. This get excited, now wait.
Before I go there, you have EA Access. Mm-hmm. You've canceled 2 games this year.
I know.
Because you've demoed them.
Yeah, but they're EA games.
I'm just saying.
I know. I recognize that.
So that I think is the fear in most companies. Mm-hmm. You put the demo out, they get a bad demo, they don't buy the game.
That's a good point.
And I think that's Nintendo's like every other company out there. You have those fears. Mm-hmm. So if you can't control the narrative, it gets a little messy. So that's it. So the excitement to me is, I think the one thing that I would do is I would start to try to do. The first thing I would do, with Sony not being there, man, I would come out guns blazing.
Yeah.
I'm a little shocked that Xbox didn't go back to the convention center this year. Just because even if it was a small space next to Nintendo, because the size of the space that Sony took, I'm curious who's going to take that space. Probably Bethesda, I would think.
I think Ubisoft is going to be big at E3 this year.
Ubisoft was big last year at E3.
I think,
and they were on the side. They were on the side where Nintendo was as well.
I'd be interested in Bethesda. They're the next Fallout is forever away. Skyrim is forever away. Starlink or whatever, Star Siege or whatever the hell it's called, it's forever away. Their big things are a long ways away. So I'm not sure what they're going to have coming.
They'll have something. It won't be anything massive. Fallout 76 last year was their big one, and that kind of flopped. So. Yeah.
You got Rage 2, but that'll be out by then.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it shocked me that Xbox didn't, like I said, take that booth area. But even Sony, like when I went there last year, they had a massive area, and it was like such horrible use of the space.
Yeah.
Like so much open area.
You could
People
tell they
just
had like
laying
one
around.
foot out the door. You could tell that they were leaving.
It was
like
definite.
they were looking, they were kind of turning,
Yeah.
they were playing with their keys.
I was
they're just ready to go.
embarrassed. I was
Yeah.
embarrassed. I was like, I'm walking through there and I'm thinking to myself, if I'm a Sony fan,
Mhm.
I'm pissed off right now.
Mm-hmm.
They did nothing. Only thing they had was Spider-Man they were showing.
Mm-hmm.
And that game was already out at that point, I think.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Or close to being out. And I think they had God of War and a lot of demo kiosks too. And I think there's another one that was out at the time. And it was like, what is happening right now? Like, what are they doing? Like, I couldn't understand or get a full focus on it. But backing up. So if I was Nintendo, I would expand my booth a little bit. Put more kiosks. That's the most frustrating thing that I think as a Nintendo fan. I got to play Smash, and that was it.
Yeah.
I tried to go play Pokemon Let's Go, and that booth was full every single time. You couldn't even get in. So for me, I would say open up the area a little bit, put more demos, because this year is different than last year. Last year they basically only had Smash. This year I think you're going to have more stuff. So open it up and let people play other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what surprised me too is another thing I would separate would be I would have done Splatoon 2 on one day, Smash the next day, and then your E3 announcement. Because I feel like you build up the hype. Those tournaments, there's something special about those tournaments. They are fun to watch. They are exciting to watch. They're the best players in the world going at it. It's the only time of the year that I actually watch Smash played, because I think it's just so exciting to watch these tournament guys just go.
I just watched Jason Lacey. Just as good.
Oh my god, dude! Can I just say this? Shout out Greg Caldwell. I watched Jason just wipe the internet with him, like just go in and wreck him.
What do you mean?
Night. They fought each other.
Jason
night.
And Greg?
Yes, and Jason streamed it.
No, I didn't miss this completely. What?
Oh, lit him up. And I'll tell you right now, Bad Bit, you got no chance.
Holy! I was like, what were we talking about? Bad Bit? Oh crap!
Oh, because Bad Bit ran his mouth.
Yeah.
You know, Lacey's on fire right now.
Yeah, he's good
like
stuff.
That dude is just a beast when it comes to. I have never seen someone play that way in my life. Like, I mean, I've watched professional players when I've watched them play, but like, just he went in and it was like game on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like,
well, because everybody else, like, they bought the game and then they kind of fizzled out. But like Jason, like that, he just kept playing. He doesn't just play the game, like he practices. He studies that game. He's got notes and he's working on strategies and everything else.
The other night he said he fired up a Joker and he was destroying people.
I know.
It's just, how do you do that, man?
He's nuts. Bobby, I want Nintendo to do something at E3 with Nindies. I want them to do.
That's definite, yes. I would definitely do something with Nindies.
I get so frustrated when the Indie on any conference, anytime there's the montage and there's 70 games or whatever, and then you like, who's writing those games down? There's no way to keep track of it all. It all looks good. Sure, like you get like 6 frames per game, and that's kind of it. I want Nintendo for once and for all to have like a featured section on the eShop. These are the games that you got that we showed in that bundle, and you can get that whole damn collection for $99 or whatever it is.
On the Wii U, they did the Nindies at Home segment.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did was every single game that was there, you got demos of every game. And it was the Nindies at Home. And you download, you got demos of all of them. And if you downloaded the demos, when the games came out, you got a discount.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're talking Nindies against Nintendo. Just stop it. So the thing is like,
don't you think?
Because that's the first time. That's the first time that I played Mutant Mud Super Challenge.
Yeah.
Was during that. Also, SteamWorld Heist was part of that. There were some really good games, and this is when the Wii U was kind of struggling. But I would like them to see them bring that back. The Nindies are the people that held you together on the Wii U, on the Switch.
And I think
it's going to first launched.
It's going to be huge in this next year. I think the next 12 to 16 months are Nindy Central, man. Because I think the other two big guys are winding down. Not going to really see a whole bunch. Indies are going to be absolutely massive. So I think that when we talked about last week, when with these other guys moving into the next realm, and you weren't worried at all about Nintendo staying relevant when PS5's got solid state drives and all the teraflops.
Yeah.
I think they've got a stronger relationship with indies, and that could carry them through on top of all the things. It is huge, man. It's enormous. So I really hope that they lean into that. As much as I'm excited to see what they spotlight at the highest degree, I want them to take up that Nindy. Like, Nindies is a thing. Like, we all know what we're talking about. It's way better than what the hell Xbox calls theirs, and God knows what PlayStation even thinks of indies anymore. Take it to the next level. Let E3 be the stage where Nintendo shows how you take that relationship to the next level, and watch what gamers do, and they buy all those games, dude.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I'm not sure. Where are we at time wise on this?
We got another topic. We got one more topic for sure.
I just said, where are we at time wise?
Well, I don't want to give. It's weird. We're 40 minutes. It's weird to say.
Okay, that's fine. Just tell me 40 minutes. So in my mind, I know what I have left. Okay. Okay. So
my stomach might only have about 3 minutes. So
that's where we're stop. That's where we are. Oh my God! Would you stop it? So that's where we are with that. Next topic. I'm going to do the one that Chelsea gave us.
Yeah.
So, if we ran Nintendo, what special edition Switches would we introduce, and what would we do with them? So, let's look at it this way. You have, we talked about it earlier. You have Fire Emblem, you have Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon. I feel like those are the 4 Nintendo franchises that are coming out. Okay.
Oh, there's Zelda. There's Zelda 2.
Yeah. Or Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening is coming too. So you have a big old egg on something there. So that makes 5, right? Is that the 5th one?
That's the 5th one.
I was really kind of desperate to get 5. You have like a collection.
We didn't get a Breath of the Wild Switch.
Yeah.
Like, that was the one thing that shocked me a little bit, that they didn't do a Breath of the Wild. But
they're just trying to get them out. They're just trying to make the base.
I know that. But still, they've always done special edition things when it comes to Zelda. When it comes to consoles,
yeah.
I mean, you own a bunch of them on the 3DS. I own a bunch of 3DSs that have it. Even when you go back to the DS and the Game Boy Advance and all that stuff, like they've always done special editions with Zelda. Man, so I feel like we got those 5 games, and I really feel like all 5 could get a special edition. To be truthful, Luigi's Mansion might be the only one that I would probably go, maybe not. But definitely Animal Crossing, definitely Fire Emblem.
Luigi's Mansion would be cool because it could be like a glow in the dark kind of thing. Remember back in the 90s where everything was glow in the dark? Like especially Ghostbusters, all the Ghostbusters toys, like the goo, Slimer.
You can't do everything, Sean. Come on now. You can't do everything. So I think
when are any ideas gonna fly?
So I think Fire Emblem definitely.
Sure. I want to do all 5. I want to do this like remember Xbox had the greatest lineup in Xbox history or whatever, and everybody knew it was nonsense. Do like this, like boom, 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 boom. These are the games that are coming out, and they all have special editions. People buy all 5, guaranteed. You buy at least one of those.
Oh, I buy Animal Crossing right away. That's a definite. I buy Animal Crossing definitely. Maybe Fire Emblem. And who am I kidding? I would probably get Pokemon as well.
That's what I'm saying.
I almost pulled the trigger on the Pokemon one, but the thing is when I went to go get it, it was sold out, and I regret it because I should have done it right away, and I didn't. I held off. This time though, I'm not playing games. The Zelda one to me is the one. I feel like so if they put one out for those 5. I would definitely buy Zelda and Animal Crossing.
Okay, so we're really talking about the Switch, and like maybe there's some colored Joy-Cons as well. Maybe there's something to be done on the Joy-Cons. What I want to stress here about this with the collector's edition is that the dock is gorgeous. Like when we think about collector's editions for a lot of games, it comes with like tchotchkes and made in China, just garbage stuff, right? It's all like it's big and it's like, oh, what are the chances that you get a cheap bag with a Fallout 76 thing? Like I think that the dock could be either very sleek looking. They could make it look like an elegant piece of electronics, which it sort of already does. But what if it was like this throne, this shrine to everything that you love about that game that you're buying into? I think that would be really cool because the dock as it stands leaves a little to be desired. It's not like my beautiful Spider-Man PS4. with that amazing icon and logo on it. Like that looks awesome.
So when you look at, so we've gotten 2 in the United States, in North America. We've gotten 2 Switches where they've done something with the dock.
Yep.
Smash.
Not the best.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon, I think, was the better of the 2. Still wasn't the best.
Nope.
Because I want to see a colorful dock.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to see etchings on a black dock. If it's me, like I think about Animal Crossing, and I go, man, if they could make this, have like the grass pattern, so make it green with the grass pattern or something, or with, even if it looks like here's the thing, they do these amazing posters and box cover art for these consoles, or I mean for these games. Why not do like a panoramic scene of like Animal Crossing?
Yeah. With
the village, and you have certain villagers on there, and then like certain animals are in the woods and in the trees, and like do this whole scene there.
Gorgeous game. It definitely should be represented in that way.
Yeah.
Well, and even you could either do this for Animal Crossing, or I also jump back to Luigi's Mansion. I want something like almost like jumping out of the, like you can almost have like almost like an amiibo that's like kind of attached. So you have a bit of a 3D effect to it. So I think like a ghost coming out of there, or you could have like Tom Nook creeping in the window, just looking at you, counting all your money, just waiting for you to come back and buy things even if you don't want them.
Yes, exactly. So that would be the Animal Crossing one.
Yep.
When I think about Zelda, again, I would have something amazing. Even if it's just the logo in the middle, like pull the Switch logo out. Yeah. Get the Switch logo off of there.
That's a given, for sure.
Even if they were to keep it, because I'm looking at my dock right now, even if they were to keep the Switch logo in there, make the Switch logo gold.
Yeah.
Keep it black, make the Switch logo gold, do the Hylian ledger around the outside of it and stuff. Dude, Joy-Cons, make the Joy-Cons gold.
Yeah.
Like, really lean in. They haven't leaned into the gold of Zelda in so long. Like, I would love a gold cartridge, like I got back in the day. That would be so much fun, man, to see like this gold cartridge to go with the gold Joy-Cons. I wouldn't overkill it. I wouldn't make it like pure gold, but make it gold like shell. Maybe the buttons are black, the sticks are black, kind of lean into it that way. But I feel like they could do so much with a Zelda one, without a doubt. And even if you pulled if you did pull the Switch logo out and put the Triforce in there instead, that would be kind of.
I was just pulling up because I was trying to remember which one it was. It was the 2DS, the new 2DS XL.
Yes.
That they did with a Link Between Worlds, because they had the original 3DS with that, which I've got with the Triforce on it, and it's like that pretty basic design with the light and the dark and the above or whatever. But the 2DS is gorgeous. With it essentially looks like the Shield. So and it's got that bevel emboss kind of look like. That's kind of what I was talking about, that 3D kind of aspect. And I would love
this thing is amazing.
The Animal Crossing. I mean, that looks
like
it's
Animal Crossing
stitched.
2DS is amazing. It does. It looks like it's stitched. Yeah, it looks like it's stitched. For those that are watching the video, you can see it. Looks like it's stitched. It's not. It's amazing, man. And then you look at what they did with this thing, and it's like
it's embarrassing. Then, if you really think about the Switches, like you look at those 2DS and 3DS special editions, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah. And I understand.
Embarrassed.
I understand that, like, when year 1, year 2. You're just not there yet in terms of like you're hoping the sales are strong, the consoles are strong. We are now at close to 30 million units sold. It's time to gear it up. It's time to get crazy here and let's go. Like, enough of this nonsense. Step it up. So, I would love to see that.
I know you're not stoked on Mario Maker, but I thought Mario Maker could actually make a really interesting special edition. I think I've got a really cool faceplate for my new 3DS that looks gorgeous, but I thought even that missed the mark just a little bit, because Mario Maker in itself is like this constructive thing. So if you almost had like either like a Lego type of deal, or like where pieces start to snap together, or it's magnetic or something, or whatever it is, like that you could make it your own. So if it's the dock or the back of the Switch, and you could like, I don't know, you can almost like swap out like faceplates and make it Mario Brothers or Mario World or New Super Mario Brothers, like different art styles, and then sort of mix and match all the characters or levels. Like you could build a level essentially on your Switch, like on the dock or on the back of the Switch, I think would be so cool. Like people would go absolutely ape s about that.
Yeah, I agree. It would be awesome.
Somebody's
getting
awesome. Excited about that. I'm stoked about that idea. I've been thinking about that all day.
With Fire Emblem, there's a lot they could do with that. This one's called Three Houses. I mean, you could definitely do something where you had the 3 characters from the 3 different houses on the cover of the dock. I feel like Fire Emblem is their game that is they've crammed it down their throat for the past few years, and I feel like but I feel like it's worked for them to some degree.
Yeah.
The Fire Emblem mobile game is really making them quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So I think that they can lean into that a little bit and just take off with it and do good things with it. So I think that's another good one that could definitely happen. Luigi's Man. See, here's the thing. What I would love to see happen is I would love to see them lean into, like, the one thing about this 2DS, the Zelda one, and then the Hylian Shield one is they're not flush.
Right.
They kind of got a little impression, like a pull out.
That's what I'm saying.
It would be so cool to have on the dock itself this little, like, maybe almost 3-dimensional, like, castle. And, like, you have Luigi's face on it. And those things are kind of, like, raised up a little bit.
Right.
And then, like, maybe, like you were saying, glow in the dark. But what it would be cool about it is when it gets dark, the ghosts appear.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So that would be kind of cool.
Well, the Joy-Cons for sure would be glow in the dark. I think that would be so
I don't know if
sweet.
I would like that. But I would like it on the dock. I would like it to be like you have this dock sitting there, and then as it goes dark, this thing pops up. It would be really cool. I remember when the Wii was really huge, and there was this guy that was making special edition Wiis.
Yep.
And he was actually wiring lights to it as well. So you would fire up your Wii, and he had like a Samus logo on the side. And then like it'd fire up, and then like the Samus logo would light up and all that stuff as you played. I would love to see stuff like that.
That'd be amazing.
Really dive into this thing and push it to the next level. The one thing I want to say too, and I've been on record to say this a lot, and it's because I believe in it. The back faceplate has to have something on it. It cannot be black. It's got to be something.
I think almost like swappable faceplates at this point.
Well, not on the back. And what I mean by that is because there's a lot of stuff that's tied to those faceplates. There's like, I don't know if you've ever watched somebody pull them off. I know what you're saying. Like you could indent it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, if you're doing a special edition, like the faceplates is another animal altogether, in my opinion. It's
another animal.
If I'm getting an Animal Crossing one, I don't want detachable faceplates on it. I want to be able to know, like, that's my special edition Animal Crossing. It's got this really nice painted whatever, etchings on it, whatever they might do to it. Like, that's the thing that I loved about the Pokemon one. I thought the Pokemon one was really well done across the board. And I feel like this Pokemon version, it's going to be even better than the one before.
You know it's coming.
It's definitely coming.
Well, there's probably 2 of them coming. They should actually have 2 for Pokemon.
There's definitely going to be 2 coming. Well, they might not because they didn't with Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu.
That was a
They
test
put
run.
out. The only difference was, depending on which version you bought, was what game came packed in with it. But they had to see the Joy-Cons were, one
that's
color.
That's probably reasonable, but like that's the whole thing. Is Pokemon is I think inherently unreasonable. So it's just like, can you imagine just a Sword and Shield switch?
If you think about it, when they did a couple of different ones, I'm trying to think. When they did, there was 2 that they did. There were special edition, like the Ultra Out or whatever, Sapphire and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Those ones had those were the ones that came with the faceplates.
Yeah.
And one had Charizard and one had Blastoise on it, and those were the faceplates. But then they did another one where you bought them, and there was 2 separate ones. I think that was for Sun and Moon. You could buy 2 separate ones. I think if any company could get away with it, you could do it with Pokemon.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like Pokemon is the game that is going, and we talked about this on numerous occasions, I think Pokemon is the game that's going to bring. You could sell 20 million to each one.
I agree.
No doubt. You could sell 20 million Switches off that franchise if you wanted to. Now they're not going to. They'll probably put out 1 million of each, or 500,000 of each.
I've got 3 really quick ones here as we wrap up.
Go ahead.
I want a special edition Switch that looks like a PlayStation Vita. I want a special edition Switch that looks like a Wii U gamepad. And then especially I want a Yarn Kirby Switch.
You know, I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of If We Ran Nintendo. At this point, if you are, if you're a Patreon subscriber, don't go nowhere. We got Brendan Meyer's topic coming up. Basically, he just said if you ran Nintendo, if you were to launch a Switch launched with 4 preloaded games, what would you be, and how would the best package be? And there's rules in the game and all that stuff. So be sure to stick around for that.
It's amazing. Very
shortly. Everybody else, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, you can follow Sean Capri over on Twitter. Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. You can follow me over on Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Bye, and buy some video games and play the Kirby video games and the Kirby golf game. And I'm Toby.
Anyway.